I've bought another one now. So here we go, the Hornby Railways 36th edition, 1990 catalogue. And actually I really like this one. So let's have a look. Starts with a nice double page opener. The wonder of trains. What they are. What they do. Why they are so good. It even mentions the Council of the European Economic Community. Drawings and photographs of the Intercity 125. Oh, that's a nice bit of graphics there. Nice bit of design work. Nice little index here. So we go on to the sets. Let me get out of that reflection. Now this is something that struck me immediately. There's a good use of angled imagery. Okay, the trains and the coaches being angled instead of side on straight, which is quite dull. Gone for the blue fading to white graduated background, like you did in one of the earlier catalogues, 1989 I think. I don't have it to hand. Anyway, this is showing a nice range of wagons for the midnight freight set. I mean, look at that, it's pretty comprehensive. Looks like a fantastic fun set to play with. You've got your car loading ramp, you've got passing loops or sidings, you know, double siding. Lovely. I have one of those little hopper wagons. You've got a good shed with posters inside. That's pretty cool. I like that. Turning the page. So that's nice as well. So 1990 they brought out the Gwr Mixed Traffic Set, the R694, which I have a fair bit of actually. That's the Crook and Greenway wagon and the Regent wagon I need to get, but I've got the rest of that. I've got the Loco, and I've got the little coaches, and I've got the brake van, so available mid-90. Might have to do that. Might have to get the Crook and Greenway one. I'm sure I've got one. It looks really familiar, but I haven't. I know I haven't. Anyway, this nice high-speed train set with the old Intercity there. Like that. See, they used to have the little swallow graphic on just because it was so speedy quick. But I mean, that's a nice little set, that GWR set. You know, your siding and what have you. Going over the mighty Mallard train set. Again, it's angled and it's slightly raised up on an embankment. I mean, that's nice. And showing you it as it looks in the box as well is pretty cool. I like that idea. And here we go. We've gone for a bit of blurriness, a bit of speed there. A panning shot. That's really good. And then we've got the 8 freight train set. So a large LMS black 8F, a 280 class 8F. So look at that, you get quite a lot of wagons in that one. You also seem to get some accessories and buildings and so on. And then of course a little old clockwork train set. A little boy who wants to actually pick it up and eat it. Now this is a lovely shot. So steam locomotives. The popularity of steam outline models continues unabated despite the disappearance of the real thing from regular service so long ago. But look at this. This is a Hornby model. Okay. But that looks so realistic, such an atmospheric photo. It's slightly coloured. It's not black and white, which it does look like on here. Yeah, it's got a very slight blue tinge, so like selenium toning. If you remember the darkroom days. I mean, that's a lovely blue on that, on the Lady Patricia there. I mean, that's a lovely looking engine. I really like that. Wrong era for me, but there you go. And we've got a black Class 3F BR locomotive. Looks like a rebadged Jinty to me. And the Evening Star. Quite a beast. And then a Class 8F. Class 5. That's quite nice. Look at that big Britannia. Very nice. And we've got another 9F. Royal Lancer. Now that one I should buy. The LNER Royal Lancer. Because my great grandfather was a Royal Lancer. He was in the 16th Queen's Royal Lancers from 1905 until he was wounded in action September 1914. Just under a month of war. And he was crippled for life. Massive great bit of shrapnel. About the first 2 joints of my little finger in size. Into his thigh. That was him done for. So killed his horse. Long period of recovery, but he survives. So yeah, maybe I should get the Royal Lancer. Who knows, maybe I'll do a 3rd set with LNERs. So there we go, Flying Scotsman as well. Can't see the difference really. Oh, they're the same, Class A 1462. Okay, just different badging. And now this is nice too, this, what's it called, Silver Link. Silver and black mallard, streamlined 462 loco, very nice. The Golden Eagle, that's that one that was in that monochromatic shot earlier in the shed. And there's a Class 8F. And here we go. Nice GWR 2721. Got one of them, I have. There's the King Richard, I've got the King Henry. There's Charterhouse School. Now, Charterhouse School, that's funny. Now, back in the days when I had to do the odd delivery of kayaks and canoes around the country, I was sent on a trip and I was told, oh yeah, you got to take some school. So I took it some school. So I'm absolutely minging at the time because I've been humping kayaks in and out of warehouses and shops and so on, covered in dirt and dust. Dirty hoodie, dirty jeans, been on the road since the previous morning. You know, slept overnight for a few hours in a hotel, you know, a few beers on company and what have you. So I turn up at some school, and it's only bleeding Charterhouse, one of the original public schools, isn't it? I think that's where Boris Johnson went. But so I've got this 3.5 ton curtain side Mercedes Sprinter, all dirty and knackered and what have you, with a horrible 20-foot net covered trailer full of canoes and kayaks and that. And I drive right into the quadrant. There's all these toffs with their winged collars and their poncy clothing, their tails and all that, all coming out of chapel. The chapel's bigger than the church in my village. And I was like, a little bit out of place there. Oh, cool. When I had to go back, a year later, I think it was, there was like people with earpieces, you know, grown adult bodyguards waiting for the kids. You know, it's quite a thing. They didn't go on that train. So, Highland Railway 040 ST. I've got a little red one of that, LMS colours. And there's the little Lancashire Yorkshire version of it. Oh look, there's that little GWR signal box. Now, here's one for you. Haddiscoe signal box, which is now preserved somewhere. The junction box, not the signal box, sorry. The junction box stood on the corner of a bit of land which my dad later bought, the marshland. The concrete plinths that it was on are still there. But yeah, so he bought the land that the junction box was on. Now the actual signal box, it's high level signal box at Haddiscoe, became King's Autarky. That belonged to my friend's family, my friend's parents, and we had some amazing parties there. Got very, very drunk. And Beeching pulled down the bridge, but they had the bridge supports and the pilings there. We used to dive off the one on the land and swim under the boats as they were coming along, which used to freak them out badly, and then pop up the other side by the central support. It's quite a thing. Good fun. Wouldn't dare do it now. Everyone's got a mobile phone, we get reported. So Smoky Joe, of course, lots of people had that. That's the same engine yet again. Look at that. 3 of the same locomotive. Anyway, then we come on to the diesel and electric locomotives. Now, I don't like this sort of greenish yellow colour cast they've got on there, but the actual photography is quite nice. Nice to have a moving one and a straight one. You've got depiction of the catenary wires and so on. So what we got? We've got that horrible, ugly diesel mechanical shunter, and then this one, which I think looks pretty good. That always looks like a sperm whale to me. You know, if a train could look like a sperm whale. See what I mean? The blunt nose and the eyes set back, quite small. You know, with the window. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, there's a nice Coco Chanel and a Bobo Johnson. And And then we are a Coco. That's the Class 37. I like them because I saw one. And that's another Class 37. So you've got, oh, and another one. So you've got 3 different liveries for that. Quite nice actually. I quite like that livery. Then we got some more diesels. Another Coco, a 47, and there's another Class 47. And there's your Intercity 125. What's that? Class 47 again, and another Class 47. So they're making the same models but with different what's the word, bodies on them. I think it's quite cool. All those look really dull. No, I don't put any value to them. Okay, look at that. Now that's nice. That's good looking. So you've got a Class 91 and a Class 90. Nicely photographed, nice colour schemes on those. There's a Class 86 and another Class 86, and then there's an illustration of the overhead power supply, the cataries. That's pretty cool. There's the box and everything. I don't know how popular those were, but certainly look cool. Rolling stock. Nice with the can't think what they're called. Electricity pylons. I mean, they featured all the way through my childhood without me ever really paying them a lot of attention. Massive great things up close. So there we go. LNER coaches. LMS coaches. There's a Royal Mail coach. We've got the GWR coaches coming down. The Pullman coaches. And you've got some of the other rolling stock, the freight stuff. Quite nice, nicely set into context. That's supposed to look like sunset, obviously. Turn the key. I think that's quite nice. So that's put into an industrial setting up the top there. So there you go. We've got the crane and the car freighter, so on, and some coaches. You can see why I said I like this catalogue. It's nicely done. The photography is nice, you know, and as a catalogue it's quite nice too. The stuff's presented nicely, but not as just straight, flat, boring, dull cataloguing. There we go. It's the last of the rolling stock. So we've got power and control. We like that, don't we? So here we go. So there's the old 912 quarter amp power controller. That's what I had in my first set. And then you got the 914 half amp power controller, and that looks really cheesy. The 982 power pack. Wow, that was complicated. Locomotive regulator and power pack. I don't know what all this is. System 90. I know nothing about that. The all-new control system is a result of several years' development utilising the latest state-of-the-art electronics. The System 90 control, the power pack, mains transformer, is provided with 2 control sockets to which locomotive regulators on 1 meter leads may be connected. It's beyond me. So you got your switches and so on. Still talking about 01 there. Track and accessories. There you go. You see the track, but you also see it all blurred because you get the movement of the trains, and that shows you how you can come up with ideas of little playing with your track planning symbols, the different track available with the geometries and lengths and the track packs, the old operating turntable, the level crossings and the track underlay. Always wanted that. Never had it, but apparently it just like falls apart. More switches, uncoupling ramps, accessories, trees, people, fences, buffers. We've got bridges, viaducts, elevated track sidewalls, the high level piers and inclined piers. And look at that big suspension bridge. I mean, that's posh. Footbridge, light signals, semaphore signals, stations and buildings. Like there's a bit of movement on the people as well. I mean, that's quite cool. So that's it's a nice bit of depth the way they photographed that. You've got the big old station with a roof. And the smaller stations. I mean, this has been around forever. The station announcement system, announcer system. I should get one of those. And different options of platforms. Subway platform. Different radius curves on the curved platforms. That's quite cool too. A signal box. It's got that horrible stone print. I don't like that. Like car loading ramp. Very specific. Good shed. Booking hall. That just looks like a cartoon, to be honest. Diesel maintenance depot. I think that's a pretty good looking kit. That's not as bent as it looks. It's just the distortion on the phone I'm videoing with. The water tower, the buffet and bar. There you go. That they didn't have in the earlier days. Waiting room, engine shed. The tunnel that's been around since my dad were a wee lad. St Michael's School, which is literally the booking hall with two triangular bits. Railway cottage. Got rid of one of those. Just looks so plasticky, toy-like rubbish. So there we go. So industrial running through a residential area bit. HSD loco shed. The GWR signal box and crossing that I mentioned earlier. The GWR footbridge. I just built one of those from a kit. Have a look in my videos and see if you can find it. See what you think. There's a factory unit, and that's nice little bit of movement there. Countryside scheme, Rose Cottage, the Bell Inn, Country Church, and Dunster Station. That seems to be quite an expensive kit. I keep putting bids in, but that keeps going for too much money. Victorian semi-detached house, Victorian shops, modern shops, mock Georgian house with separate garage, roadside restaurant, coach siding platforms. They're pretty cool. The pylons, the bungalow, and then the world of Thomas the Tank Engine. Look at that. Go on, Ringo, you can be the star. Look at that. That's Gordon. That's Percy there, the green one. There's Thomas. And there's the James passenger electric train set. See, Thomas was a set. Percy was a set. Gordon was a set. That's cool because you increase your spend per head, as it were. Look at the little boy reading his little Thomas book, playing with his little Thomas train. Oh, I mean, that must have been a really good tie-in for Hornby. There you go. All the sets, lovely. But you could, of course, get them individually if you wanted to build it up. But it's just recolouring and rebadging the normal sort of coaches and rolling stock, which is quite good. I think the crane actually looks better in the Thomas and Tank Engine one than it does in the normal one. And then the accessories. Oh, I've got that station. There you go. The good shed and engine shed and that still in the original style design, so they look a lot better. Lighter top to the signal box. It's white instead of sort of caramel colour as well. Footbridge, platform canopies, signals, water tower. A different colour on the tunnel, and that is it. That's your 1990 catalogue. I like that one. That's a good one.